Hello gamers and welcome back to the channel. Recently, the Tekken 8 demo has been released and I spent a couple days playing through the demo. I'm really looking forward to this game. I know we had Mortal Kombat 1 and Street Fighter 6 and I enjoy those games, but Tekken is my fighting game of choice. I love Tekken. I've been a fan of Tekken since day one. The first game I ever got on my PS1 for Christmas many years ago was Tekken 1 and I absolutely fell in love with the franchise. So playing the Tekken 8 demo, I was really excited because I wanted to kind of experience like what were they going to do that was going to kind of set the game differently than what we got before. So going into it, I had high expectations and I wasn't really let down. I thought the story mode was phenomenal. I liked how we got to play the first fight with Jin versus Kazuya, and I really like how it had like quick time events in it, and it made it feel like, oh, this is an epic battle. It wasn't just like, oh, hey, Kazuya, I'm gonna take you out, round one, fight. No, it was like a battle, and then you had like all these cinematics happening from around you, and then you beat Kazuya, and then you go into another round, but it never says like round one, round two, right? It actually felt like it was a coherent storyline, and there was actually like a couple quick time events in it that kind of keeps you more engaged. I know a lot of people don't like quick time events, but to me, I feel like it's a good way to keep you engaged during cutscenes, because the worst thing to do is to sit there and play this game and then there's a cutscene and you put your controller down for 10 to 15 minutes. Whereas a quick time event, although they might not be like the greatest thing, it keeps you engaged into what is actually happening and it keeps you off your phone. So I really loved what I saw from the story mode so far. We only got to play that one fight, which was kind of a bummer. I wish we could have got like 3 or 4 different fights into it, but we kind of see where Jin is trying to do like this redemption thing for all the stuff that he's done, and Kazuya, who's taken over his father's corporation, he's getting ready to launch another, King of the Iron Fist tournament, and I really love the visuals and the story that they were telling. So I enjoyed the story mode overall. To me, I think that was the highlight of the demo. I just wish it was a little bit longer, but unfortunately it was just that one fight. Then there was 2 other modes. You have your arcade mode where you get to create an avatar and you go around this arcade. To me, this was the thing I just did not like at all. It was very tutorial based. You go in there and they're trying to tutorial on everything. You go to the arcade and then you can challenge people and all this. To me, when you compare that to what Street Fighter 6 did with their version of this, Street Fighter 6 I think did it better, because you can go around and you can play like old Capcom arcade machines like Final Fight and all these other different, like Street Fighter 2 and all these other different type of classic arcades, and you could see them playing like Tekken 3 and stuff, but there was never an opportunity to be able to play those arcades. Maybe they kind of took that out of the demo version. Maybe when the full version comes out, you'll be able to go back and play like Tekken 3 or Tekken 2. That would be awesome, because I really enjoy the older Tekken games. I've been a fan of the franchise since the beginning, so being able to go back and play those and maybe even have an online function feature to be able to play like Tekken 3 online would be absolutely just awesome. But as of stood right now, the arcade area, the arcade portion of the game was my least favorite. And then of course you have like the 1-player, 2-player, 1-player versus computer and all that, your basic one-on-one, one-on-two, kind of mode where you can go in there and you just play against friends in the computer and just kind of hone your skills. So other than the story mode, I played that a lot, and I played a lot with Nina Williams. Christy Montero is not available. Christy Montero is not in the game, but Nina Williams, I mean, she's been there from the very beginning. So I decided, okay, I'm going to go ahead and play as Nina. And the one thing I noticed right away is they kind of simplified the controls like Street Fighter 6 did, where you have like this one button that does all these combos, one button to do these power moves. And it kind of bothered me at first because I saw this move list on the left-hand side, and I'm like, how do I get rid of this? Because this is making this way too simplified. I have been playing Tekken for like over 25 years, almost 30 years at this point. I want to be able to play Tekken the way I've always played Tekken. So I didn't realize you hit the L1 button and it'll go away and you go back to the classic controls, which I much prefer. I understand a lot of these fighting games want to make things more simplified for newcomers, but at the same time, I think that kind of takes a level of competitiveness for anybody to try to get better at the game, right? It's kind of weird that I can play this game and then hand the controller to my wife and we play, and she would be on the same level as me just because the controls have been simplified for someone who isn't familiar with the game. That's cool if you're someone who just wants to play the game and have fun, but on a competitive level, I think it takes away from the game and actually takes away from the level of competitiveness where someone actually has to sit and learn the game. So I wasn't a big fan of that in Street Fighter 6, not a big fan of it in Tekken 8 as well. I wish fighting games would just go back to the way they were, and if someone wants to get into the game, then hey, just practice and learn. There was no like one button combos or one button moves in the early areas of like, you know, Street Fighter 2 or Tekken or anything like that. We had to play the game and we had to learn the game. I think right now, I know you want to try to bring in a bigger fan base, but to me, I think that just kind of ruins the competitiveness of the game. Even though you could switch it on and off, the fact that that's still an option, to me personally, as an old school Tekken fan, I'm not the biggest fan of it. But overall, I was very, very positive about the demo. Other than the arcade portion, I loved everything that I seen. I thought graphic wise, it looks great. It ran great. I did not have any problems with any frame rate drops unless it was like moving into a cuss scene. It was just a phenomenal demo. It was way too short, but it gave me a taste of what to expect going into this game. And Tekken 8 is one of my most anticipated games going into next year. But that is just my thoughts on it, guys. I want to know what you guys think. Have you had a chance to play the Tekken 8 demo? What are some of your thoughts on the game? Leave those comments in the comment box below. Smash that like and subscribe button. And until next time, as always, I am Robert Storms, and thank you for watching.